So now you have this printed. What do you do with it?
Okay, this was made for our membership. Mainly for our membership. We set up a table in a park. And we had this on the table. And we had a sign on the table. So people are curious. They come over to the table. What is this about? You get it?
What was the sign? Do you
This
remember?
one had a picture. I remember this. I may even still have it. This was a banner on oilcloth of sneakers with wings. Sneakers running with wings. Because this was a walkathon. So we didn't have any political signs. We had sneakers with wings.
Great.
And so people, and all we said was walkathon June 12th. So if you were in the park and you saw a sign with sneaker and wings, you'd want to know what that's about. You don't make it political right away. It was in a park on a Saturday in an area that's frequented by a lot of walkers.
Did you need to do anything with let anyone know that you were doing this tabling?
Yes. Oh, yes. We go and we get a permit, do everything legally for the table. And sometimes we ask for a police escort. If we had a motorcade, we used to have motorcades. We used to have rallies. We always involved the police. We didn't look at the police as our enemy. Very interesting.
Yes.
Did not look at the police as our enemy.
And you did that. You did that for safety reasons too, right?
Right, so that no drunks would walk by and disrupt everything. Great. So the cops would be watching to make sure we had our legitimate right to protest without being interfered, as long as we didn't block any streets and block any sidewalks. We had a table on the grass. We were not there to be confrontational. It is our right as citizens to set up a table that's not bothering anybody on a social issue. We could not sell anything. So in other words, we can't sell up a table and sell cigarettes or anything like that. This was a cover letter. And there was a flyer, very simple, with the big picture of the sneakers with wings on them. And it said, walkathon for a nuclear freeze, Freeze. So we were, and everybody, even the cops, were supportive of that. Freezing nuclear weapons, not making any more. We have enough.
This is part of a coalition.
Right.
Staten Island Disarmament Campaign.
Which was a coalition of New York City. There are 5 boroughs. And there were 5 disarmament campaign coalitions. Ours was in Staten Island.
How did you and the party reach out to this coalition and connect with them? Or did they reach out to you?
No, there was one in Manhattan, citywide. We took the ferry. We went to the meetings, 4 of us from Staten Island. The 3 of us were people in our cell. One of them was a woman who was involved with the Unitarian Church. And one of them was an anarchist from Wagner College. He was actually a libertarian. And libertarians are different than anarchists, but they're the same. So we went, the 4 of us. We worked together with friends, and they knew I was Stalin. It didn't matter. Okay? I knew they were anti-Stalin. It didn't matter. was not what, that's not what we were talking about.
Great.
So when we went to the citywide thing, we came back and we formed the same thing on Staten Island. That's exactly what we did.
That's great.
We were the first one in the city to do that. Then they did that in Brooklyn and in the Bronx. We had worked together on the war in Vietnam.
Perfect.
Which was in 1970, in the 70s. Then we worked together on Nicaragua, 79, 80. So when 82 came along, the nuclear issue, we continued to work together. We didn't burn our bridges behind us. The walkathon was a success.
Okay.
It's a resounding success. There were stop points, I would say, at every 4 blocks. There was somebody there with water to give to the walkers. Fresh water. Then there was another stop where they had cupcakes. So you get it. We were working there to help the walkers fulfill their goal of reaching 10 miles. We started at one spot and we finished at the other. I think we finished at the ferry. Or we could have even have walked over the ferry. We could even have taken the ferry and ended up, I don't remember this, and ended up in Manhattan.
That's a great idea. Because then you go to the ferry and then people on the ferry will see you.
Exactly.
Ask, what are you doing?
Exactly. And the news media was with us. The local newspaper, the Staten Island Advance, which we're able to have here. A lot of people don't have a local newspaper. We were lucky to have that. It's always been here forever, since 1800s.
Did anyone reach out to the local media?
Yes,
directly?
We had somebody whose responsibility was to call them beforehand and give them the itinerary, the route of the march. And they came and they interviewed the walkers. And it was a big page. And the next day, I think it was a Sunday, it was in the Sunday paper, front page.